Welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? In today's video, I'm bringing back home economics since one of my fields of specialization is home economics. I had already held a home economics major before I took additional field of specialization, which is English. And now I'm very happy to share with you my little knowledge in cooking as one of the areas of home economics. Yes, English, history, and algebra are so important, but what good are they if you don't know how to cook? As a saying goes, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So what I have in store for our dinner tonight? Well, for our main course, I'm going to prepare ground chicken stir fry. My version of ground chicken stir fry. My version, because you too can have your own version of ground chicken stir fry. Actually, cooking is not only a science, but it is also an art. So we can utilize our skills in art, how artistic we are in terms of food preparation. So I don't usually follow the patterns of the recipe because I can modify a recipe, or I can even make my own recipe, because a recipe is always dependent on how many people are gonna eat, how much ingredients are available, and what is your desired taste, because our taste buds vary, right? The main ingredient is of course ground chicken, and since it's just me and my husband, I don't have to prepare large quantity of food. Just the two of us. So I only got a pound of ground chicken, just enough for us. The spices needed are just onions and garlic. Part of the main ingredient is the carrot. How cooking works. Consider the total number of people who are going to eat, as well as their well-being. As for me, I have to be very careful with my husband's diet because he has some health issues. Before you prep your meal, think of the size and shape of the main ingredients. Because the size and shape of an ingredient can make or break a dish. Why? Because ingredients cut into uniform pieces at an appropriate size not only cook more easily but also taste better. Since the main ingredient here is the ground chicken, I'm using the brunoise cut, considering that ground chicken are tiny pieces. A brunoise cut, by the way, is bigger than mince. It's approximately 1/8 inch cubes. And this cutting technique is ideal for carrots, bell pepper, and onion. To do the brunoise cut, the food must first be julienned, then turned a quarter and diced again to create, like what I said, approximately 1/8 inch cubes. Julienne cut, by the way, is a long, thin strips similar to matchsticks. The one I'm doing right now is a julienne cut. Then turn a julienne a quarter and diced again to create the brunoise. The julienne cut is ideal for pancit or noodles. Here I go. I'm almost done. Don't cut your finger, Lourdes. This is what a brunoise cut looks like. It might not have been perfected, but it's for home consumption only. It's alright. The onion, the garlic, they are ready too. These dried cherries have special roles in my recipe. The condiments needed: soy sauce and salt. Depending on the quantity of the ingredients, it's up to you to measure the amount of condiments needed. It's based on your taste. In here, since I only have a pound of ground chicken, I used 1 teaspoon of sea salt and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Instead of using the regular cooking oil, I'm using the extra virgin olive oil. Regular cooking oil is not advisable for us because we have high cholesterol count. I don't use these dried cherries as part of the ingredient because it contains very high in sugar and not friendly to my husband who has diabetes. In this recipe, we can also use raisins instead of dried cherries. Dried cherries is only a suggestion, and as what I have told you, cooking is an art. So let us use our power to think of any substitute if one of the ingredients is not available. So what is the best substitute for dried cherries? Raisin, or the other way, raisin or dried cherries. Up we go, cooking! What should be sautéed first, onion or garlic? The general rule is onion first since garlic can scorch quickly or madaling masunog ang bawang. Put the garlic after the onion. When the garlic turns brown, put the ground chicken. Stir to separate the pieces of ground chicken. Stir constantly. Then cover till it gets done. If your task is to prepare food, then your greatest responsibility is the safety of your family or the food consumers. I'm adding the 1 teaspoon of salt. Meat should not be half cooked. It should be fully cooked. Dang dang! By the way, when cooking, avoid talking too much to prevent saliva contamination. But for a demonstration purposes, it can't be avoided. However, we are recommended to wear a mask. I'm adding soy sauce now since the meat is already done. Mix properly. In tasting the food, do not use the same spoon or ladle that you use in cooking. Instead, get another spoon or ladle to taste the food. This is to prevent contamination of saliva because you're not the only one who's going to eat the food, but the entire family or the food consumers or the guests. Proper hygiene is required for food handlers. I'm adding the carrots. Don't overcook the carrots. Overcooking vegetables can cause nutrient loss. Aside from that, the original color of the vegetable will not be preserved perfectly. You can add a little amount of water if you desire to. But I didn't do so because the kind of cookware that I'm using is creating a vapor within the pan itself. The food is ready. I'm done. I can't put so much dried cherries in the food because it's restricted from my husband's diet because he has a diabetes. And I put the dried cherries for garnishing purposes only. Thank you so much for watching. That's my version of ground chicken stir fry. Till next video, stay tuned. Bye.